Hey team, Rachel here with another amazing training for you. Now, if you are looking at exiting or selling your business, then you are going to want to hang around. Now, of course, we are probably thinking right now, I'm not exiting or selling. I'm growing a business, or I absolutely love what I do. However, what I want to talk to you about today is the eventuality or the concept of always having your business ready for you to exit. So if you want to know how to plan for that and how to prepare for the exit, then you're in the right place. If you think that you might need help with this huge transition, then make sure you stick around and wait until the end of the video so I can give you some further instructions. Also, let me know in the comments with a thumbs up if you're finding little valuable chunks throughout this video. Now, this video is for owners who are able to exit their business of their own free will. It's not going to be for you in the situation where you've all of a sudden got a horrendous forced sale or forced liquidation of your assets, because what we're doing here is putting things in place. We're planning ahead, way ahead, so that if unforeseen circumstances do arise, you don't have to go into that panicked rush and end up putting your business on somewhere like Gumtree or the dirt cheap classifieds. So if you don't know where to start, this is a great place to start when thinking about preparing to exit or preparing to sell. So you might think it's going to be a quick process when in fact it's quite lengthy if you want to do it correctly. And that's why we call it planning. So your opportunity here is that you're able to sell or exit on your own terms for a price that you are happy with. And you'll also have a vision and a timeline of what you are selling or exiting for and what you want that to look like. So the framework here is that we need to, or we should be planning for at least a 2-year process to create your exit, whatever that might look like. So if you're kind of thinking that you've had enough around about now, then you really need 18 months to 2 years to set this up properly. And to make sure that it's on your own terms. If you wanted to retire 2 years ago, well, best start now and, help you plan as much as you can and do this as quickly. But in such a way as, you don't skip any of the steps. So do it quickly, but do it properly. So the actions that we need to take here start with making the books look as attractive as possible for the buyer. And that's why we say this is probably a 2-year process, because your accountant has more than likely been in tax minimization mode for you. And what we need here when we're going into a sale is the books looking as healthy as possible. Now, of course, a savvy buyer is going to take your books to their accountant, and an accountant knows where to add things back. But if you've been hiding things for years in order not to pay tax, it may be difficult to show all of the value of the business. So this is why we need to start with the very next tax return that goes in, showing a healthy business. Okay, so that's the number one reason why this is not a 6-month thing. So we want to look at your other assets and how they could look to potential buyers. For instance, what niche of repair are you in? Are you in general? Are you in something specific like performance or caravan or heavy diesel? We want to be able to clearly identify these things for any potential buyers. So if you kind of do all things for all people and you're not really clear on that, now is the time to get nice and clear. We also want to make sure that we have my favorite thing in place, which is systemization, because systemization, clearly visible and documented, makes businesses more valuable. If you've got 2 businesses of a similar size in the same area on the market at the same time, the one that has documented systems is going to sell for more. Why? Because it shows a potential buyer how to run your business, how you've made this money, how you've made it successful. And they can just walk in on day one and follow your documented systems and know that there's a predictable, consistent income on its way. Without those systems, the new buyer has to guess and make it up as they go along. And they may want you to do some kind of earn-out period as well, so that you can basically be there to teach them, and they're never fun. So what we also want you to do is identify who actually is your ideal buyer. Is it another technician? Is it somebody looking for an investment? So have a think about that so that you can start to target, just like an ideal customer for your business, an ideal buyer. You also, if you lease your building, you want to make sure that you've got a good lease in place. So if you've only got 1 year left and no option to renew, that's not going to be appealing to any lending institution that might be helping your buyer into the business. So a bank or other type of finance company wants to see that there's a good amount of time on the lease and there's an option to renew as well. So make sure you take that into consideration. Of course, if you own the building, then you also need to plan for whether you are going to want to lease the building out. So you're actually just selling the business, you want to retain ownership of the structure, or you want to sell the lot. So give some thought to that as well. Now, the results that you will see from having done this work is that you'll sell for the price that you want or that you're happy with, and to the buyer that you wanted to attract. Okay, so where we set really clear intention, we're often much more able to get the result that we want. But when we don't know who we're looking for, then we'll just get anyone, and potentially they'll just be bargain hunters who don't want to pay our price. So you can also prepare your team for the change. So part of exit planning is also growing leaders inside your business. So creating voids for up and comers to come through and for you to start delegating things to as you help build those documented systems inside the business. And by having a plan, you don't keep the business longer than you want to. So you might have plans to retire at 50 or 55. And with an exit plan in place and a well thought out one, you shouldn't still be there at age 65. Okay? And there's nothing worse. I've seen it far too often. Older guys who are 65, 70 that just haven't been able to sell their businesses, so they're still there every single day, even though their bodies gave out a long time ago. So why does this work? Why does all of this planning and system creation and thinking about who your ideal buyer is, why does it work? Because it allows you to clearly identify what you want, when you want it, and who to go after. So if the potential buyers that you're after don't possess some of the criteria that you think will matter, they're unlikely to be attracted to your business for purchase in the first place. It's like writing a great job ad. If you have the key criteria nice and clear, you're more likely to get the right people apply. Systemization, it doesn't just work for the exit or the sale, it works for the day-to-day running of your business. When you exit plan properly, you'll actually set your business up in the present to run far better, and you'll probably find that you get more free time out of systemizing and doing the work now because you're going to be delegating and you're going to be setting up other key people in your business to take on more responsibility, meaning there's more time for you. And you're more across all of the business during this process. So you've really got your thumb on everything that's going on as you look into each area to do this planning process properly. So some of the lessons I can let you know about is to make sure you take the proper amount of time. As I said at the start of the video, this is not a 6-week or a 6-month process, because usually we've got to get your tax returns and your books in order after years of your accountant doing a tax minimization strategy. Without preparation, I can tell you, you will one day decide, either through illness or death, or you've just had enough, that you want out, but you won't have had this plan in place if you don't do this work now. So make sure that you don't find yourself in one of those situations where you've got a fire sale, or you're incapacitated and you all of a sudden can't work, and your family or friends need to come and take over the situation, and it's really difficult for them. If you know that you've got your business in the best possible position, you are in a far stronger position to negotiate with any potential buyer, and you are far more likely to reap the rewards of a well-oiled business while you still own it. So your business will actually become more profitable now, meaning you can extract as much as possible from it while leaving it sustainable for the business to run while you still own it. So earlier in the video, I mentioned to you that if you want help with this transition of creating your exit plan, of tightening up operations now while you still own it, to extract more profit, and also to ensure that it's done properly and that you possibly have more time available to you while you are still an owner, then we'll be able to help you with that. So we can help with those who have just newly purchased a workshop as well. So you may be at the start of your business owner journey and looking for some help. We work with you at both ends of the scale. So make sure you follow the link with the video and let us know your situation, and our membership team will be in touch to see how we can help you. I trust that you found this video informative, and I hope that you are off to start your exit planning. Have a great day.